Hello people, I'm Vito, and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom with Robberlink.
Hi, I'm Robberlink, and I'm here to tell you today about...
Oops, I didn't know that was Robberlink.
I thought it'd be fun to be in the game.
Oops. I guess it's just me now.
No. Hello.
Yeah, so where we last left off, we were trying to get to that lower right base where I believe Scott is now, from what I checked. Yeah, okay, so, first things first, there's a bug. It says Kaiba's there where it's pointing, but he's in the base. So that's a little weird. I want to move Bones... Whoop. Okay, I just captured that one. I want to move Bones back here so he can help. But yeah, Kaiba is not over there. He is in the base.
Weird.
And we have more fighting to do. So
Base under attack.
Yeah. I think I was going to bring Pegasus, but I decided to bring Labyrinth Ruler because Labyrinth Ruler has the Constructor ability. And since Mokuba is no longer with us because he is captured, I don't have a discount ability that I can use. And there are things I want to buy.
Fair enough.
So off screen, I think I already installed a trade union into this base. But yeah, I think the timer is shorter because it said I could either beat Scott or wait out the timer, I think? Was that this one?
It might have been. Or maybe that was the... Or was it the previous one?
I'm not sure anymore. But I know... Wait, I just brain farted. What was I gonna say?
Something about how to beat the mission?
Oh yeah, so it only lets me bring 3 marshals, but I think I can still do it, despite the amount of marshals they have. I think I saw that Scott has those 3 monsters, the, that one scorpion thing and the 2 embodiments of Apophis. When we fought Scott as Yugi the first time, and Scott had those monsters, that's when he took control of everyone, and it didn't let us actually fight him. So I wonder if it will trigger something once I try to get to him, or if we will actually fight him. But in order to do that, we're going to have to go through this entire slog of marshals.
I assume you will be going to fight Scott personally, though, right?
Yep, I will try.
No. There is no try. Only do or do not.
Do you must, yes. So I think Bones is the other one I have with me, and I had him capture one of the other bases, but now I have him coming back. Although it will probably take him a while because I'm probably gonna run out of medicine on Kaiba's group. He was doing fine against the first 2, but these machines, they do pack a punch. And since this is going to be just a lot of fighting, we could already go into our notes about the anime episodes we just watched.
Sounds good.
So we watched episodes 16, 17, and 18 of Season 2 of the anime, which included the fight against Strings the Quiet One.
Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. You didn't hear him say it?
I think I did a couple times, but that was it.
He said the Quiet One a few times, but there was one time he explicitly said, Merrick, he said, Strings, the Quiet One. So, I know I've mentioned before, we did fight Strings in Yugi's story at one point when we returned to Vaxi Island right before that mission where Bakura started burning the one town.
Still have no memory of it.
You should probably go back and look at it. But yeah, at one point, I don't remember if it was before that fight or somewhere in the middle of it, Yami Bakura showed up again. He didn't really do much other than talk to himself and find the stone tablets in the museum.
Oh, in the episode.
Yeah, in the anime episode.
I was like, wait, stone tablet? What? When was that in the game?
No. Yeah, in the anime, he found the museum tablets, talked to himself a bit, but not much else.
Yeah. I was like, oh hey, the show finally remembered.
Yami.
Frick, what was his name?
Yami Bakura, not Yama. Yami.
It wasn't even that. I just genuinely forgot his actual name. I had to look it up.
Jeez. I guess it's not a localized name, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, also just because it had been so long since we dealt with him.
Yeah, I guess it's been since the kickoff of Season 2 with the Keith fight.
Yeah.
In the abandoned warehouse. Yeah, the thing is, like, I vaguely remember the whole plot point of him, like, putting part of himself into the piece of the puzzle and still wanting power. I just don't remember if he actually does anything from this point on. He probably does, but I just don't remember any of that.
It's pretty funny, though.
So yeah, the first thing about the strings fight, Quick Attack, is not a card in the card game, and I think that makes sense because from what I can tell, that whole Battle City rule, that rule where a fusion monster cannot attack on the turn it's summoned, doesn't seem to exist in the card game. So Quick Attack allowing a fusion monster to attack on the turn it's summoned is useless in the card game because that's already a thing.
Oh, speaking of cards that, you know, have questionable value, Defusion. Like, I had, like, 3 questions. Like, I couldn't figure out how I wanted to say it in text. But, like, the fact that Yugi had Defusion, like, is that...
It's heart of the card nonsense. Why would you have that? Yeah.
Also, like, would that even be valuable if it even exists in the real world?
So it does exist. It doesn't specify that it has to be your fusion or the opponent's fusion, but it does say if you, specifically the user, have the components in your graveyard, you can summon them. It doesn't say that you have to let your opponent summon their components if you return their fusion monster to their extra deck or whatever. So technically, by the card game rules in real life, Yugi could have just used it to get rid of that humanoid wormdrake thing and then do nothing else. He wouldn't have needed to bring back the components, technically, because they're not in his graveyard. They'd be in his opponent's graveyard.
Interesting.
At least that's what I gather from it. Alright, hang on. Millennium Golem is feeling the heat a little bit. Ooh, but a crit. That should help. Yeah, just kill him first and then I'll heal you.
Another question. The, what was the plasma thing that...
The jam?
Yeah. I thought it was gem at first, but then it kept saying jam.
Yeah, it's jam.
That's not something I want to see on my PB&J.
Only one person would dare give me raspberry.
Marek.
Speaking of which, I just heard someone mention earlier that they're going to be making a new Spaceballs. After all this time?
A wee bit late?
Yeah, strange. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know. Is it the same director? Any of the same actors? I don't know. Because that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not even sure if I've seen it.
Yeah, I know I have. But yeah, I'm not sure if you have.
But anyways, as I was saying, jam defense. The whole thing where it can, like, block, like, where it can take the attack for an opponent or for another monster. Can it just do that as much as it wants? Or... Well, yeah, no, never mind. I was going to say, or can it only do it, like, once per turn? But... Actually, no, that still could be a valid question.
So that might actually be a good point, because... the jam defender, the trap card, is continuous, so it could always activate, but I believe on the revival jam card, the one that revives, obviously, I think it says it doesn't actually come back until a specific point, which may differ from the show. In other words, if you kill it and you have another monster that could attack, you might still be able to attack whatever you want then before it revives.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think it revives immediately in the card game. But here's the big thing that's like, I feel like it makes the revival gem worthless in the card game. It costs 1,000 life points to revive.
What?
Yeah. So, like...
What?
If you don't gain any life points, you can only really do that 7 times, and then you're down to 1,000 life points.
Alright then.
That puts a big hole in the whole strategy that Strings was using.
Yeah.
But that is...
Here, you can't hit me. I'm going to hurt myself so that you can't hurt me.
Yeah, that is a frickin' massive cost. And then another weird thing that I don't quite get is that the jam breeding machine, on the card it says you cannot summon anything other than slime tokens, but then it says you can still set. So I believe I've run into this question before that I have. Does set mean you can only set magic and trap cards, or does that mean you can set a monster in face down defense position? Because I think that is also called setting. It's not considered summoning until they're flipped. So it's confusing. But then another thing is, the way the Egyptian god cards work is that it says you cannot set them in face down defense position. So you would have to get rid of the machine in order to be able to summon him, and it did seem like...
It did seem like he did that.
Yeah, but you don't sacrifice magic cards when you tribute summon. And you can't just say, I destroy this card of mine without doing anything.
That was another thing I was going to mention. Was the breeding machine a magic card or a creature?
I believe it's a magic card. Or a spell card. So yeah, that was another weird thing and another weird rule on the card. But yeah, maybe you can still set monsters in defense position face down. I'm really not sure. Excuse me. Funny thing I noticed is that when it shows the full body picture of Buster Blader when it's summoned, it looks like it's mostly legs. It looks like it has a very short torso.
Look, he didn't skip leg day. That's all that matters.
He's got them legs. And surprisingly, it's actually a stronger card than Dark Magician just on its own. Because it's like 2,600 attack, I think, instead of 2,400.
Oh. And it's, what, another 500 per dragon on the field?
So it is actually kind of overpowered because its card effect is it gets 500 attack for every dragon-type monster your opponent controls or has in their graveyard. So basically, if you've killed a lot of dragons, they all still apply.
Okay.
And that's 500 each, so two dragons and you already get a buff of 1,000 attack points.
Wow.
Which is frickin' massive. So I'm surprised that, you know, there wasn't a little more talk about the card in general before this happened. Like Yugi saying, I got this great new card that's even more powerful than Dark Magician.
Well, yeah, no, because that overshadowed Dark Magician.
It's still his favorite card, I guess, yeah. But is it still his rarest?
No, anymore it ain't. Because as of the point we're at, he now possesses one of the Egyptian god cards.
Yeah, we'll get there. What was my next point here? Yeah, then I wrote the revival jam cost of 1,000 life points. Oh yeah, and then we saw the Pot of Greed for the first time in the show.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised it didn't appear in Season 1. because it's one of the cards that came in, like, the early booster packs in English. But yeah, we didn't see it in the anime until now. And then, oh yeah, you could see in episode 17, Scott again.
Yep.
He was talking to Kaiba from the command center or whatever, trying to track down any Egyptian god card activations.
Yep.
And then we saw one. Slifer the Sky Dragon.
And it seemed to slightly disrupt the surrounding weather for a bit.
Yeah.
I was like, Kaiba, can your holographic technology manipulate the weather? Kaiba, this is a big deal.
It's like, first you want him to be able to smell the monsters and feel the, I don't know, the explosion after a monster gets destroyed and whatnot. Now you want to frickin' change the weather?
What are you doing? Playing card games. Right, that's this whole thing. I believe at the end I mentioned I like how there's 4 sides, effectively, as far as I'm aware, to the story. There's Yugi and his friends. There's Yami Bakura and his quest for power. There's Merrick and his slightly different, but still basically the same quest for power. And then there's Kaiba and his massive ego. That's it. That's the 4 sides of the story.
Yep. Alright, I'm running out of medicine here. And I started moving the labyrinth ruler from that northeastern fort, but I forgot to actually put a supply unit there.
The trade union?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe this will be fine, and if not, I can just start guarding like crazy, because you will not be able to do anything. But hopefully it will not come to that. But I think this might also be the last frickin' Marshal.
Thank goodness.
Now I just need to rush their base before they can respawn. Because if they respawn, dear God, that's gonna be terrible.
I mean, they will be at half health. So it'll be easier.
True. I keep forgetting that part, and you keep reminding me, and I'm like, okay. It won't be as bad.
Yeah.
It'll be half as bad.
If you can survive the first wave, it gets easier.
And then there was a weird thing where Yugi called Buster Blader's weapon a lance at one point.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but I was like, did he just call it a lance?
and
I could have sworn it was a sword, and then later he says, Buster Blade, hit them with your sword. And it's like, what?
Make up your mind, dude. It can't be both.
Can't have it both ways.
But yeah, I
what do you think this is, an anime? Oh, wait.
Can it transform? But yeah, I double-checked too, and it's like, no, that looks like a sword to me.
Yeah, no, that's a certified sword. That's a sword. But that dragon's freaking out. I was gonna say, we've gone through like probably over 300 hours of Fire Emblem. I know my swords from my lances.
But do you know your lances from your spears from your pikes?
Yes. But that's not from Fire Emblem. That's from being a nerd.
Okay, which one's the longest?
I think Pike actually is.
From what I recall, yes, and you probably know better than me, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one is the shortest, though.
Of the 3?
Yeah, Lance, Spear, Pike. I think it might be Lance, but I'm not sure. I think the Javelin was even shorter.
Yeah. The Javelin's, like, specifically made for throwing.
Yeah. Alright, I guess we'll put this thought on hold, and I will buy things real quick. Trader. I want Hinotama. Okay, good. It's not very expensive. Mecha Master suggested getting these to put on Water Girl once she is high enough level to use them. And I think we've bought some of these, so we're good with that.
Alright. Oh wow, you didn't even have a barricade on that.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm like, these are 1-star fort. It's not going to do much. And then you can also start heading that way.
As I'll say, I'm not sure if Kaiba can take him on his own.
He does still
get damaged.
He does still have a particular item.
He does have Obelisk the Tormentor,
which might be worth using. All right, and then supply unit here.
Supply unit.
Oh, whoops, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I said supply unit earlier, and that's.
And I even corrected you.
Yeah. Mirror wall. Lowers the attack of any attacking enemy.
Oh, or wait. Around one team monster that lowers the attack. So it's basically applying guard to a different monster than the one using it, I guess.
Yeah, I think a Mecha Master also recommended getting that, so I'll get some of those. And now we're good. I wasted a little extra money on a supply unit I didn't need, but oh well.
After all this micromanagement of making sure you get all those discounts.
Yeah, so that's Mystical Beast Circuit and Embodiment of Apophis, which is the trap card that you spring it and it becomes a monster. Alright.
Kaiba, engage.
You've been battered long enough.
It's time to take the fight to him.
As long as we're allowed to fight. And if this is the case where it would have won if we expended all the time, I could go back to the backup save and see what would happen.
Frick, who did his voice?
You.
Okay. Come on. I'm right here. Let me show you once and for all that I am the law.
Okay, we actually get to fight him. Because when he had this set of monsters in Yugi's story, that is when he sprung his trap. And we didn't get to fight these. Alright, your turn. Maybe I'll go one round of bashing him.
Yeah, you could probably survive it.
I should...
Or just guard for a while. Could be funny.
Waste some of his moves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially now that you've poisoned one.
Yeah, is that a new thing? Whoops. I think that might be new.
Oh.
I don't remember if we had this before. But he has it now. And you have level 1 magic for some reason.
Wait a minute, that paralysis scythe didn't paralyze.
It would be funny if he does get paralysis later. Although he's the highest level right now. He's like 80-something, I think. So
yeah.
If he doesn't have it now, I don't suspect he will in the future. Relinquished Eater. Not too scary. Oh, but you have blue medicine, do you?
Does that heal poison?
No. But poison doesn't do a whole lot. See, it does like 100.
Still. Jeez.
Oh, you have blue and red medicines?
Oh.
You frickin' jerk. And I don't have any medicine with you. Give me the dragon zombie turn, please. Thank you. Obelisk time. How you doing, buddy? So I didn't realize before playing this game and seeing like the opening screen that all of the Egyptian god cards have like that blue gem on their forehead.
Why'd they use a blue medicine?
Double blue medicine.
You could have just used a red medicine. Why'd you use 2 blue? The AI is great.
Yeah, so I do have the attack against all 3 of them, which might help, but they are also running out of moves. Omni Hand Crusher. Screw your floors. Nice.
Still using blue medicine.
I wonder if that's like a programming flaw, that they try to use the first medicine first. Maybe it's like, it checks that the first inventory item is blue medicine. Is this a good point to use it? And it says yes, so it doesn't even check the red medicine.
Maybe. How do you miss a target that big?
How indeed. Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh no. Charge!
I wonder how much damage it did to you. I didn't quite see, but it didn't do a whole lot, it doesn't look like.
Well, let's try this then. Okay.
Gosh darn you.
Oh, let me try again.
You're out of moves. Stop avoiding. You're supposed to be exhausted. Wow. 14 HP. Try again.
Oh, this time I'll get it right.
There we go. That's how you do it.
Win.
Yay.
Oh, Mystic Horseman's level 91 now.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
Mystic Horseman might be the first one to max level. Unless 99 or 100 should be the max level, I assume. But it'd be funny if it's uncapped. Alright, Scott. Get wrecked.
Oh, right, Yugi's here.
Yeah, I think the whole thing was if we waited out the timer, he would have come and help.
I forgot about him. Your units to the rear have been wiped out, Scott. You're all alone. Your ambitions stop right here. Huh. How about that? Kaiba here was just a decoy. Not bad, kids. Not bad at all.
You're awfully calm for someone that's about to get beaten. You're the one that's all alone now.
Ha 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 ha. You all fought wonderfully. To be honest, I have something in my throat.
It's my fist.
Oh no. To be honest, you exceeded my expectations. I underestimated you. Perhaps I should have handled things myself. It must have been too much for my stand-in.
Stand-in?
Why yes, the Scott you've been dealing with is just a robot that I have been controlling remotely. Dun dun dun.
Darn it.
I'm a very busy man, you know, but I should have taken the time to face you myself. I see that now. Oh well, there's always next time. Until we meet again. Have fun and play safe.
And after an hour, make sure you take a break and go outside.
I was just thinking, it's like those...
The Nintendo safety thing.
Yeah. Not even Nintendo, just older games where if you just play for like an hour or two, a message will pop up like, hey, be sure, take a break every now and then.
What I was thinking of was, I believe it's like, it came with the instruction booklet for like every GameCube game. I think it was like a white general Nintendo instruction thing, and it usually had guidance. Guidance like, don't play for too long. I will play as long as I'd like. Bye now.
I'm going through a tunnel now. I connected.
He's gone.
Ooh, money.
Yay, gold, because I only got to bring 3 marshals. Raid. No.
Wait, we're being raided? Are we on Twitch?
I was going to say no, not the sponsor.
So, you're going to go? There's nothing I can do to stop you.
I used you, Yugi, so that I could defeat an enemy. That's all. The next time we meet, I may decide to attack you. So long, Yugi. If you make it out alive, we'll probably meet again.
Would it kill you to be friendly for once?
Yes. I have a friend bomb strapped to my back.
With how he acts, I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
You've heard of a speed bomb? This is a friend bomb.
Oh gosh, now I'm thinking of that one F-Zero GX level.
Me too. Working together, Kaiba and Yugi managed to elude the forces Scott sent after them. However, Kaiba does not want to join forces with Yugi, and has decided to move on and strengthen his forces. Kaiba's exhausted army is having trouble facing this new enemy, and rebuilding its ranks.
I will strengthen my forces, but not by strengthening with your forces.
I will become stronger on my own, for the sake of my ego. Kaiba's forces learn that 2 very large supply units from Scott's army will be passing through Uravi Canyon. Kaiba decides to attack these units and steal the bulk of Scott's supplies. Sounds like fun. Alright, and I get to bring 6 marshals. Everyone that I still have. Yay!
Bug Boy, Dino Boy, get in there.
You too, Pegasus. In fact, you're actually required. Alright, that sounds good, but it is about time to end the episode, so I think off screen I'll check if I have any other new skills I didn't notice. But yes, we'll end it here, and we will continue things next time.
So, dear viewers, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.